Welcome to the Explainer. While the whole world has been talking about chatbots, Google has been quietly building something way, way bigger. So today, we're going to look past all the hype and see the powerful new AI tools they're creating right now and what it really means for all of us. So here's the plan. We'll start by talking about that big fear around AI and jobs, but then we're going to reframe it with a really powerful new way of thinking. Then I'll show you the proof. With 4 incredible new tools, we'll see how all this stuff applies to you personally, and we'll wrap it all up with the one skill you're going to need to really succeed in this new world. All right, let's dive right in. First up, AI. Is it a threat or is it a tool? We've got to start by acknowledging the anxiety a lot of people are feeling about this stuff. I mean, every time a new AI tool comes out, the conversation online is pretty much the same, right? It's all about how AI is coming to replace marketers, musicians, engineers, you name it. And look, this feeling of uncertainty, it's totally understandable, and it's everywhere. But what if we're looking at this whole thing from the wrong angle? And that brings us to a really crucial shift in perspective. It's a new philosophy for working with AI that's being championed by Josh Woodward, who actually runs Google's AI labs. He calls it the co-creator mindset. And the core idea here isn't replacement. It's collaboration. According to Woodward, these things aren't some autonomous force coming to take over. No, they're tools. That's it. They're designed specifically to work with professionals, to co-create. So here's the bottom line. AI's whole purpose is to give us new abilities. It can take an expert and make them even more productive, or it can give a total beginner the power to create something they never, ever could have before. So how do you actually get ahead in this new AI-first world? Well, Woodward's best advice is surprisingly simple. He says you just have to constantly experiment and, well, play with these tools to figure out what they're actually good for. Okay, enough with the theory. Let's look at the evidence. We're going to dive into 4 pretty groundbreaking tools that show this whole co-creation philosophy in action. First up is a tool called Pomelo, and you can think of this thing as like a marketing superpower, especially for small businesses that can't afford a whole team. You just give it your website's URL and boom, it instantly generates a whole week's worth of on-brand marketing materials, just like that. Okay, next is a tool called Stitch, and this is where the lines between different jobs start to get really blurry. It lets anyone, a designer, a product manager, whoever, just describe an app, watch as the AI builds a prototype right in front of them, and then, get this, it generates the actual code with a single click. All right, now I want you to imagine something. You're working on a huge project and you've got 66 different research sources. We're talking articles, papers, notes, just a mountain of information. What do you even do with all that? Well, this third tool, called Notebook LM, can take all of that whole mess of research, and transform it into a single cinematic video summary. It doesn't just list facts. It actually acts like an AI assistant director, shaping all that info into a compelling story. And I mean, this is really the next level of AI help. It synthesizes everything for you, it writes a script with a real beginning, middle, and end, it picks a visual style, and it even codes things like interactive charts and maps right into the final video. Wild. And finally, we have Genie. And honestly, this thing is just jaw-dropping. It's an experiment in world building. You give it a single image or even just a text prompt, and it generates an entire playable, interactive world where every single frame is created on the fly as you play. It's just wow. Okay, so these tools are amazing, but how does this all apply to your daily life? And that brings us to our next section, your personal AI assistant. Let's see how this all comes together in Google's new Gemini Assistant. This example really shows the end goal here. It's an AI that's not just powerful, it's personal, and it's proactive. You ask it to find goggles, sure, but then it anticipates your next step. It goes and finds your prescription from an old email. It even remembers the glasses you bought before. It's connecting the dots in your life to save you time before you even have to ask. So with tools this powerful, it's pretty clear the way we work is changing. And that brings us to our final section, thriving in the future. What is the one skill you actually need to succeed in this new landscape? Well, this leads to a new challenge that some are calling the orchestrator dilemma. See, as AI starts generating a massive amount of output, our bottleneck shifts.
It's not about how fast we can create things anymore. It's about how well we can review, direct, and orchestrate all that AI-generated work. The key skill becomes high-level direction and, taste. And that leads us to the single most valuable skill in this AI-first world. And it's probably not what you think. It's not about becoming a coder or some technical expert. At the end of the day, what matters more than anything else is your willingness to let go of the old ways of working, to adapt, and to just embrace reinvention. Your identity can't be tied to a specific job title anymore. It has to be tied to your capacity for change. The tools are here, and they are getting more powerful every single day. So the critical question we all need to start asking ourselves is this one. Thanks for joining this explainer.